Mic check, testing. Testing, mic check. Testing. Hello.
Here's something. Is it still live?
Yeah, it's still live, so we can figure out if this is going to work or not.
Check. Check. Check.
Okay, we got somebody on. Hopefully we have sound. Hello, mic check, testing. Everything's still trying to get this all set up.
Check.
Go. A little bit. Let's see. All right, so somebody says we have audio, so try to give everybody a few minutes to, not a few minutes, but a minute or two to get up and caught up with us here if you're still trying to get on. All right. All right, sorry for the slow uptake. I'm getting up and going here this go around. It's always something. Anyway, always a bit of a learning curve. Never seems to be exactly the same, but looks like we've got at least 2 people on. Give just a second here so we can pick up who was on while ago. All right, they can, if anybody else comes on, you can jump in where it is, or you can pick it back up and kind of watch it after the fact. Work at your own pace if you can't make it on. Right. And there's always the ones we've done last summer during the COVID time. So you can always watch those and work out with those as well. All right, so we're just going to warm up just real quick, kind of get stretched out, loosened up. I won't take up too much time with that, and then we'll get into some basic drills that hopefully you can all do in whatever limited space you happen to have at the moment. So, all right, so let's get started. A few jumping jacks, stretching, kind of limber up a bit. Hopefully nobody pulls anything, and then we'll get into it. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. Stop. Okay. Right leg back fighting stance. Okay. Straight stretching. Okay. So don't kick. Keep your knees straight. 1, 2. Make sure you keep your hands up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Switch. Okay. Same thing as the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this time same leg, inside and around, like you're doing a big crescent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, switch legs. Okay, same thing, other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, feet shoulder width apart. Okay, keep your hands up. Now you put your knees to the outside of your chest or outside of your shoulders. Okay, stretching the inside of the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay. Arm across your chest. Okay, let's go other way. Other side, reach behind. We're trying something a little different here too. If you need something, I've got the chat window open, so I should be able to see if you have a comment, question, or something like that. So if it can't hear the audio or switch sides, if you have a question, need me to repeat something, just type it there in the chat window. Hopefully I'll be able to see it, fingers crossed. Good. Okay, put your hands together and interlock your fingers, figure 8 around a ball. Other way. Good. Okay, feet 2 shoulder widths apart. Okay, down in the middle. Over to your right leg. Other leg. Okay, up. All right. All right, so one of the things we typically do when we're doing these is figuring out that if everybody's using computers or TVs or whatever, we're probably in limited space. We'll do a lot of odd and even drills. I know we've done those in class a few times, so hopefully everybody can kind of pick up on that pretty quick and pretty easily. And then we'll see if we can get a little more creative with some of the drills this time, so it's not quite so, obviously don't want anybody to get bored with it, but always just trying to keep things moving, keep challenging yourself, okay? So we're gonna start off each time from Fudadachi, okay? And so what you'll do is an odd number, 1, 3, 5. Okay, you'll be starting off at the right side. Okay, even numbers, 2, 4, 6, will be with the left side as far as whichever side starts off. Okay, so we'll do first one nice and simple. So it'll be from Fudadachi. We're going to step out with a high block. Okay, Jodan Uki, and we'll be in forward leaning stance. Okay, Zen Kutsadachi. Go ahead and add a reverse punch. Judo level, so middle level. Okay, Gaoku Zuki. Okay, so if you step out with one, it's going to be high block, reverse punch, and back. 2, the other side, here, and then back. All right, so let's give that a try. Hopefully everybody remembers. And if not, if you haven't done it with us before, then it should be pretty simple to figure out. All right, 1, 2. There you go, as slow as you need to make sure you're getting the techniques and things right. Okay, we don't want to rush it and just be sloppy with it. But if this is kind of a refresh, if this is not new techniques, then work on picking up the speed a little bit, work on the crispness of the technique. Okay, don't just ease into it just because you think nobody's watching. Okay, you are the one that helps to push yourself. Okay, nobody else. 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay, so fighting with my cables here. Hang on, sorry. All right. So now this time, we'll just kind of keep working to it. We'll add a few more techniques as we go. This time, let's do Kokutadachi, backward leaning stance. Let's do inside out middle block, Chudan, Uchi Uriuki. And let's go defensive front kick, Maiki Agagiri, using the front leg. All right, so again, 1 will look like this, backward leaning stance, middle block, using the front leg. Defensive front kick, set it down, and then back in Fudadachi. Okay, even be just the opposite. Make sure after the kicks you get the read chambers. Okay, don't just flop the leg out there and set it down. It causes a lot of damage to your legs, your knees, your ankles. Okay, also doesn't look very good either. Slows you down. There's all sorts of reasons why you wouldn't want to do that. All right, so let's start off nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay, that's maybe relax a second. Okay, now when you're in that backward leaning stance, you want to really make sure that keep your center of your weight past center. Standing here, I draw a line straight down. Okay, that's where my center of gravity is. For backward leaning stance, you want that center to be, well, back of where it would be center on the floor between your feet. Okay, so your front knee is bent slightly, back knee is bent a lot more. Okay, 70% of your weight on the back. When you're throwing those front kicks, it's real easy to try to set or square, almost like a deformed horse stance or deformed sumo stance. We really want to be sitting back, okay? Trying to stay out of the attacker's way a little bit more, okay? Okay. What? Okay, so let's, speaking of horse stance, let's go ahead and throw horse stance in for the next one. All right, let's do horse stance, Kibadachi, outside in middle block. Okay, again, middle, so Judan, Soto, Uriuki. From the outside in, this is the one like you're slamming the door or you're closing the door. Okay, now we're going to add the side kick version of the defense. Okay, so defensive side kick, using that lead leg, the one that's in front, same side as what you're blocking. And let's go ahead and add a turning side kick. So we're going to use both feet on the side kicks. Okay, so one, step out, horse stance. Okay, closed door block, lead leg, defensive. You're going to set it down, back leg, turning. Make sure you step all the way back to Fudadachi each time. I don't want to hear any war stories about, you kick the TV off the stand, or, you kick a picture off the table or the lamp off, something like that. So pay attention to where you're kicking. Okay? Pay attention to what you're doing if you're in your living room or study or something like that. All right. Let's give it a try. 1. Good. 2. Remember, you're working on the re-chambers after the kick. Okay, just like we talked about with the front kick. Make sure you get the kick in, snap it back. You never know if you're going to need to kick again with the same leg before you set it down. So work on that control. 3. 4. 5. 6. Good. All right. Bad thing about working out where we're at right now in the garage, no airflow, and it is sweltering. No, because that fan out there is running, it'll be loud. So we get to have a sweat lodge. It'll be all right. So that was forward leaning stance, backward leaning stance, horse stance. Okay, now let's work on sumo stance. Okay, Shekodachi. All right, so remember the difference between horse stance. Okay, horse stance, knees bent, feet forward. I guess I should scoot back here where you can see my feet. Okay, so my feet are pointed straight out. Knees are bent, pushed out, not in. All right, now sumo stance, I'm going to take and turn them out about 45 degrees. So instead of being straight this way, I'm going to turn them out. What that does is that lets me push my knees out even further. Okay, and you set down in that. Now this and horse stance, okay, both Kibadachi and Shekodachi, your center is straight between your feet. Okay, it doesn't lean one side or the other. Okay. Now, the lower you can get your center of gravity, the better stability and balance you'll have with it. But at the same time, if you get too low where you can't move, it doesn't help you a whole lot. Okay. So push yourself as far as how low you can go, keeping your knees bent. But if you're sitting down here like this all the time and you can't move out of it, that's not going to help you a whole lot. Now, if that's your goal, is to get to where the top of your thighs are level with the ground, parallel. Okay, that's a good goal to have. Work up to it slowly. All right. So since we're doing sumo stance, Shekodachi, let's go ahead and add low block, Gidan Uki. Okay. So sumo stance, Gidan Uki. This time, we're going to turn and use the back leg, front snap kick, Makiage Geri. Okay. So if I step out, sumo stance, low block, I'll turn, front kick, Makiage Geri. All right. let's walk through that, see if we can get that all ironed out. All right, 1. Good, and back. 2. Make sure it's a front kick. You want to make sure you get your hips straight. That kick comes there. We don't want to rotate. Okay? And then that puts your hips in a different bind. All sorts of reasons to not want to rotate that fashion. Okay, back to the right side. 3. 4. 5. I got off somewhere. Oh, well, as long as we're getting them all in, doesn't matter if I can't count or if I can count, okay? Okay, it should be back to the left side. 6. There we go. There you go. Now relax. Good lesson in focus right there. Okay, I'm watching the camera and watching the second screen and everything else, and apparently can't focus enough to do that and count. So, mental focus at all times. Okay, there's always distractions around, always things going on. Doesn't matter if you're in karate class, you're at a tournament, you're in school, you're at work, or whatever the case is. There's always something going on to distract you. But you got to have the mental focus to be able to push past that. Okay, and be able to stay focused on the task or whatever it is that you should be focusing on. Okay, so these are good things to find ways to kind of push us and challenge us, even just in everyday things we do. It helps work with us on the focus aspect of things. Okay. All right. Next one. We're going to do this one more as a sparring combination. All right. Hopefully, maybe everybody can kind of pull something out of this. Maybe they can use next time we gear up and we're sparring around. So we'll keep this one for kind of a point sparring mindset. So all things that you can score off of. So these we're going to start off in just a passive fighting stance. Okay. Again, a reminder, a refresh. The passive fighting stance we're talking about is that walking step. Okay, whatever your comfortable walking step is, that's kind of where you're starting off. So if I'm comfortable walking here, okay, that's about how far I want my feet. Okay, and then I'm going to turn to the side just a little bit where I'm not all the way here, because that really limits what I can do. If I'm here, well, that is wide open for what they can do. And so I've got to find that balance. I'm going to be kind of partway in between. Now, at the same time, you don't want to have your feet super close together. Okay, nothing good comes from having feet too close together, especially for any length of time. It's a good way to wind up being swept, especially as you get up in ranks where boot checks and that are a legal technique to throw. Okay, when you have both feet together, you can take both feet at one time as opposed to just having to deal with one at a time. Okay, so that passive fighting stance. All right, so that's what we're going to start out of on these. So for our white belts that are joining us, okay, some of these may not necessarily be on a test sheet. As I said in class before, it doesn't hurt you to learn, okay, because you'll need them eventually, right? So I think we'll probably stick with everything, at least yellow one down for sure. Maybe a few orange belt techniques we throw in here, we'll see. Okay, but again, if it's something we haven't done before with you in class, just do the best you can with it. Okay, don't hurt yourself, but have fun with it while we're at it. All right, so from our passive fighting stance, we're going to start off with the back fist, Yurikin. Okay, and since these are sparring, we're going to start off with a sparring back fist. So there's two main types of back fist. Okay, traditional, which is the big draw and come back, lots of power. And then there's the sparring that goes from just point A to point B. It doesn't matter where your hand is. Okay, so if your fight style is more here, it's going to go from here to there. If your fight style is here, it's going to go from here to there. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Now, when we do that, we're going to, when we're sparring, we're not going to be close enough to be able to hit somebody because we don't want to be hit, we've got to quickly close that distance, close that gap. So when we do this, so back here so you can see the feet a little better, okay? I'm going to kind of do that lunge and drag, okay? We've done this quite a bit in class here lately, so just following up on it. So we're going to throw that sparring back fist, side step, reverse punch, middle level, okay? So again, we want to try to get out of the habit, and for whatever reason, it kind of seems to be a natural habit. We think we have to stay on this tightrope. And so we fight here, and we fight back. So for whatever reason, it's really hard for us to get off of this and circle around our opponent or our sparring partner, okay? And we're going to try to work on this to try to help get us to move, okay? So what we're going to do here is our passive fighting stance, okay? Lunge in, back fist. The back leg is going to step out. Imagine your opponent still here. Reverse punch. All right. And we're going to come back. We're just going to stay on one side for now, and then we'll switch. That way we can just kind of do a few of these, and then kind of give you a chance to work on some footwork. Okay, so for right now, let's go right leg back fighting stance. Hey. Okay. So nice and slow to start with. Okay, one, back fist, side step, reverse punch. Okay. Remember, keep track of your opponent in your mind. Visualize, okay, that imaginary opponent. Where are they at whenever you strike? Where are they when you strike again the second time? Okay. Think through that scenario in your mind. Okay. If we're sparring, where are you going to be? Okay. So if we're here, okay, back this way a little bit. Okay. So if we're here, side in here, now side step, you notice I'm not punching here. It just stands for that. I'll be here. I'm punching. I'm turning to still be with my opponent. Okay. So think about that as you're stepping in this. It's not just a side step and throwing it over here when my target's here. Okay. Work on that target acquisition, even in your mind by yourself here. Okay. Same leg all the way through these. Okay. 2. Good. And back. 3. 4. Make sure you breathe as you're going through these, okay? Don't hold your breath for it. 5. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's go and switch legs to the other side. Okay, so left leg back now. Again, same thing. We're going to lunge in, that back fist, side step, and reverse punch. All right. 1. Yeah. Good. 2. 3. 4. 5. Hey. Good. Let's go and switch legs again. Hey. Okay. So let's just kind of work on building to this a little bit. Let's get a few techniques together, and then we'll change it up completely and do something different. Okay, so sticking with the same baseline. Okay, back fist, reverse punch. Let's lose the lead leg. Mawashi Geri, roundhouse. Okay, low, groin level. Okay. So what we're doing here, okay, if you're here, okay. This way just a little bit there, not that far, right there. All right, trying to get the angles on the camera here. Okay, so if we're starting off here, and I'm going to slide in, boom. All right, I'm going to sidestep, reverse punch. He takes that step back. Okay, boom. So I'm trying to get him as he's stepping back, trying to catch the groin and low stomach area. Okay. So again, if you imagine how the dynamic would be, you notice my target's not going to stand still. As I come in, he's going to block. I'm going to punch. And I'm going to try to reach him with that. Okay. So that's why we throw combinations or sparring. Okay. If you last class when we sparred, notice I was trying to encourage everybody, follow up. Don't just do one thing at a time. This is why. If we just throw one thing at a time, all I got to do is move back. That's over. Okay. Follow it up, chase them down. Be creative with it. Have some fun with it. All right, so we're gonna be with the right leg back fighting stance. All right, let's add this in a few times here. Add this to our baseline. All right. 1, back fist, reverse punch, Mawashi. Okay. Remember to focus on where your target is. You should be moving around them. 2, back fist, reverse punch, Mawashi. All right. 3, back fist, reverse punch, Mawashi. Good. Let's go and switch legs. Okay. Get a few of these in. All right, same thing. 1, back fist, reverse punch, Mawashi, low level, Gidan. 2, back fist, reverse punch, Mawashi. I'm watching you trying to kick me. 3, back fist, reverse punch, Mawashi. Okay, back to the right leg back. Okay, let's add at least one more to this and then we'll kind of see where we go from here. So now we're going to go back fist, reverse punch, Mawashi. Okay, let's go ahead and add the front kick because now they're moving away. So I want to try to gain a little bit. Okay, chasing them down. I'm not ready to give up just yet. So again, if I have my partner that I'm sparring with here, okay, boom, boom, boom. All right. Trying to still follow through and chase that down. Well, I think that may have went off screen a little bit. Let's do it one more time. Come this way. This time. So just a little bit. Okay, so back fist, reverse punch, Mawashi, front kick. Hopefully they get the idea. All right. So start off with the right leg back. Okay, fighting stance, that comfortable walking fighting stance. Your other right. There you go. Okay. So start off nice and slow. 1, back fist, reverse punch, Mawashi, front snap. Okay, Makiagi. Right, 2, back fist, reverse, Mawashi, Makiagi. Okay. If you're having problems following along, just do the best you can. Pick up the pieces that you can pick up. Okay. We'll try to maybe polish on some of these again either on Thursday or the next time we actually get to have class together. So, but again, just like in class, always do your best. That's all you can do is try to do better than what you did the class time before. All right. 3, fist, reverse, Washi, Makiagi. All right, let's switch our feet. Left leg back this time. Same sequence. 1, back fist, reverse punch, Arashi, Makiagi, on snap. All right, still with the left leg back. Good left, there you go. All right, 1, back fist, reverse punch, Arashi, snap, Makiagi. 3, back fist, reverse, Arashi, Gary. Okay, awesome. Now relax. So grab a drink of water real quick. I don't know if you guys are sweltering quite as bad, but talking and everything, you got to have a little bit of something. Sorry for being rude and drinking while we're in live class here. One of those days, couldn't get the camera assist to work. Now I couldn't get the lid back on my water bottle. Anyway, yeah, it's been a day. But hey, we're having class at least in some fashion, so it can't be too bad. All right, let's start off with a new base. Okay, let's build a new base and work off of it. So let's still keep that passive fighting. Okay, so instead of starting hands first, okay, we're going to start with our feet first. So we're going to throw a skip front kick. Okay, so it's that lead leg, just like we did defensive a while ago. Except we're going to kind of skip up. We're going to close the distance a little bit. Okay, similar to when we did the lunge. So we're going to kind of, once we get our balance in here, we're comfortable. Okay, nice and quick. Okay. Again, when you skip, you want to make sure you don't rotate one way or the other. You want to keep everything lined up so it drives straight in. Right. So we're going to go ahead and throw our lead leg front skip kick. Okay. Reverse punch. So now we're in close. Right. Let's start off with those two and we'll build off of it. Right. So everybody's in your passive fighting stance. Comfortable. You can sit here, or not sit here, but you can be in this stance without being fatigued. It's kind of a good resting, good transition. Okay, it's a good place to start a lot of things from. Okay, one, skip front, reverse, Gaoku. Okay, the reverse punch to the Gaokuzuki is middle level, Chudan. Okay, the front kick, we're going low. Okay, so either Gidan or the lower level of the Chudan. So either right below the belt or right above the belt. It's kind of what we're targeting with this. Not trying to get too fancy and get too high. We're just working on getting in quick. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's switch our legs. Let's kind of get the base built here with the other side. Same thing, lead leg, skip, throw that Mai Geri in there. Okay, Mai Kiyagi Geri because we're snapping it back. 1, reverse punch. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, back switching legs. All right. Okay, so let's add to it. So we've got our skip front, reverse punch. Okay, all that's been online. And what we worked with a while ago, our last set, was trying to move laterally. So now, instead of moving to our open side, okay, we're going to move to our closed side. See if we can open something up. So that front kick, reverse punch. Now, what happens if they swing high? They're coming for the head. Maybe they've got that round back fist or a hook coming in. Okay? So we're going to duck and sidestep out. And remember, as you duck, it's not a head duck. Okay? You don't want to duck our head down because then we can't see what's going on. Using your hips and your knees. Okay? So coming here, roundhouse with the other leg. So again, what that looks like, skip front, reverse, duck, roundhouse. All right, Mawashi. Okay. Let's give that a try, nice and slow. All right. Work at your pace. Try to remember to slow down between sets. Kind of give everybody a chance to catch up. 1, front kick, reverse punch. Okay. Duck and move. Mawashi. Roundhouse. Back. So one thing to think about is we're doing that duck and that lateral step. You notice we're actually stepping into a horse stance and bending down and up. So with our katas and a lot of our techniques, we overemphasize the stance work. That's because the stances are transitional and they actually get us from one position to the next. Okay? So you notice in between a lot of these techniques, you find yourself in or you should find yourself in, some very familiar stances. So, two, skip front, reverse, duck, mawashi. 3, reverse. Okay, switch our legs. Left leg back this time, or whichever side you've been working on, just do the opposite. Okay, nice and slow. 1, front kick, reverse punch, duck and slide, roundhouse mawashi. Remember, even though we're having a imaginary opponent, make sure when you finish each sequence and set, make sure you still keep your hands up. Keep your hands in the ready. Whatever your fighting stance is, that's where you keep your hands. All right. 2, skip, reverse, duck, mawashi. Good. All right. Remember the 3? Please listen. Anyway, one more for good measure because I lost track of what it was on. Okay, 3, skip front, reverse, side step, roundhouse, mawashi. Good. Okay, back to the right leg back. Let's add one more to this as a follow-up. Okay. So now, skip front, reverse. They come high. A duck can come under. Roundhouse. Okay. Now I'm going to set this down. I'm trying to close that distance again. I'm going to come up, back fist over the top. Okay. So if we're here, okay. Let's see. I want to be. Get that backwards a little bit, didn't I? All right. So here, I'm going to go reverse. Okay. He wants to come high. I'm going to come under. Roundhouse. Okay. Back fist over the top. We'll assume that with that roundhouse kick that it's not somebody that's a quarter of my size and doesn't go flying with that kick just because that's physics. Okay, so they're going to be rough in the same spot. Okay, trying to elbows in and blocking that kick. Okay, opens that back fist to come up over the top. So let's do it again one more time here, too. Okay. So front kick, reverse punch, come over, round, back fist over the top. Now, when I say over the top, I just mean over the top of the defenses. I don't mean we're coming down on top of the head. Okay. Just mean the fact that if he's got his hands down, ducking or blocking that roundhouse, okay, his arms are in, his elbows are in, at least they should be. Okay? Otherwise, it's going to hurt. That back fist is coming here. Okay. So let's go with the right leg back. Start it off. Again, we'll walk through it nice and slow. Just make sure everybody's on the same page. 1, skip my Gary. Okay, reverse punch. Side step to the closed side. Roundhouse. Back fist over the top with the right hand. All right. 2, front skip, reverse, side step, round, back fist. Do you pick back up with us? Did you miss the first couple? Makes sense? Okay. All right. 3. Guys, switch legs. Left leg back this time. Again, so this side nice and slow. Okay, skip, reverse, duck and slide, round, back fist. Okay. In your passive fighting stance where you're comfortable, hands are up, ready to go. All right. 1. Yeah. 2. 3. Yeah. Good. Okay. Got some relaxed. Okay. All right. So there's a couple combination type techniques we can work through at home. Okay, you're always welcome to make and work on your own. You don't have to do them just because, well, this is the way that Mr. Borson said, you got to do it like this, this, and this. Okay. The reason they're in this format is they're flexible. Put them together however you can come up with. It'll help your mind to kind of work on those. And the idea is to work on the techniques to the point that it's muscle memory, so it's reactive, not a thought process, then a reaction, and then your muscles kick in. You want to take as many steps out of that as possible to where it's there's a stimulus or a stimulant, whatever that is, okay, and your body reacts to it. Okay? That's the goal that you're striking for. Okay. All right. Now let's finish off class with just a couple other good tools you can work on at home. All right. So let's go hands up, okay, feet shoulder width apart. All right, we're gonna go the right leg, and we're gonna chamber on 1. Okay, kick on 2, re-chamber on 3, down on 4. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of balance work, a little bit of technical work. Okay, when we break things down like this, it really will help you with making sure the muscle memory is repetitive. You want it for muscle memory to really kick in, it has to be the same every single time. Otherwise, you never know what's going to come out. Okay, so you want it to be as identical, each technique to be as identical as possible every single time it comes out. Okay, so that's why we work on the core and the basics of what we do. So hands up, right side first. My Gary, front kick, right leg. 1 chamber. Make sure you keep your hands up. Okay, notice my knee is up. I'm not hanging my knee down. The higher your knee is, the better off you can kick higher. Right? If your knee's down here, that's as high as you're going to kick as if it's down there. 2, kick. 3, re-chamber. 4, set it down. Okay, let's do the same side again. 1, up and chamber. 2 and kick. 3, re-chamber. 2, re-kick. 3, re-chamber. 4, set it down. Okay, other side, same thing. 1, up and chamber again, keep the knee nice and high. 2, kick. 3, re-chamber. Okay, 4, set it down. All right, good. And we work on these chambers, okay, another good reason to keep the knee nice and high is it lets you transition into another kick very easily and quickly. Okay. You don't have to move as many things. So let's do the same side again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Set it down. Good. Okay. Now back to the right side. Okay. Now instead of slowing it down, we're going to work on putting it all together nice and smooth. And so what happens is we're going to start off with that nice hip movement. Okay, it's going to be kind of a whip. So a lot of times when we break it down, we have problems transitioning it back into an active technique. So we got to get the chamber, kick, re-chamber, and down. We want it to be smooth. So we're going to work with the hips. Okay, think about illustration class I've used before is kind of like a spring. You twist it back and forth. It kind of winds up, builds up pressure. Okay. You also think kind of like a whip. If you've ever seen like a cowboy show or some sort of show and tell at the zoo or circus, something like that, that whip goes out and pops. Or if you ever pop somebody with a towel, okay, kind of the same idea. You want to start low, and that movement, the power of the energy transfers up. Okay, so we want to make sure we're snapping those kicks in. So we're referring that back in that passive fighting stance here. Okay, I'm not just going to throw a kick and back down. I've got to get the hips into it first, okay? So it really works to kick and back down. So drive it with your hips first. Let's try it a few times, see where everybody's at with it. Okay, so we're gonna start with the right leg since that's what's back here. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, switch legs. All right, let's try the same thing. I'm not real sure how well the camera is actually picking this up because on my screen, which may be a bit of a delay here that I'm watching, it's kind of missing most of what I'm trying to talk about. So we may have to work on this when we're back in class next Monday. So we'll see. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay. Got somebody relax. All right. So for those that are on the video, and for those that may watch after the fact, just a couple of reminders and things just to think about. Okay, remember when you're coming in the dojo, okay, wherever that may be, if it's at our place or if you're, if we're going to somebody else's school to work out with them for the night or whatever it is, remember to bow at the doorway, okay, the gateway to training. We bow when we enter the doorway to the dojo, okay, we bow when we exit. We're always facing the inside when we bow and whether it's entering or exiting, all right? And then when you're bowing to your partners to work with, whether sparring, defenses, something like that, if you're bowing to a partner, your eyes are up, you're watching them, okay? So bow with your eyes up, okay? If you're bowing to a higher rank student, okay, your eyes are down, okay, out of respect. Okay, that goes both ways. There's a couple things there, okay? And then another thing is if you're got to go run errands or something like that after class, make sure you bring a t-shirt or something to throw on so you can not be running around all over town in your gi top and your belt and things. Okay, your belts and such is reserved for working out. It's kind of a little bit of a respect thing, a little bit of a privilege thing that you think about it in that way. We don't want to be out just playing and washing the car in a belt and getting stuff dirty, that kind of stuff. So that stuff is reserved for in class, whether you're working at home or you're actually working in class with everybody else. Okay. So, the old traditional way would actually be, you'd put your gi top and your belt on at class and you take it off before you leave. Okay. But if you can at least think about it in a way where, if you're just coming straight from the house to class, okay, we're, your full gi, whatever, just so you can jump in with us, especially if you're running late, that's fine. I get that. And same thing when you're leaving. If you're just going from class back home and then changing, go do stuff, that's great. That's fine. Okay, but let's work on some of the old courtesies and things. Try to bring back some of those traditions that I've kind of haven't really talked about in quite some time. And so, not run over town with your gi top and your belt and that kind of stuff. See, now I'm losing my voice, but good thing we're almost done here. All right, and then remember to make sure that you're wearing an undershirt or something underneath. Guys and gals alike, we want to be respectful of each other, dealing with modesty and things as we're sweating and stuff. And the harder we work, next thing we know, our gi's flopping open. Okay, we want to be decent and respectful with that. Also with that, if you do have an undershirt on, which hopefully you do at this point, remember to tuck it in. We don't want bright pink or red and blue, big shirt tails sticking out underneath the gi top. Okay, so make sure you tuck it in your gi pants. That way we can stay nice and respectful to each other. Because how you dress in the class at the school is essentially, it's kind of a respect thing. It's a way to show respect to the other students as well as the instructor and those instructors of the instructor and just the whole whole process. So kind of keep that in mind as you're going through this. There's a lot of traditions, a lot of respect and things that are built into martial arts. And, there's a lot of good things we can hold on to and reflect back on. And then if anyone would like to learn how to fold a gi top for like after class, that kind of stuff, let me know next time we're in class, and I'll be happy to show you how to fold a gi top so it doesn't actually get completely wadded up and destroyed in your bag. That's what I do before and after class. That way I can still keep the gi top nice and clean and fresh, and it doesn't look like it's just been stuffed and crammed in a bag, but I don't have to carry it on a hanger either. So be happy to share any of that with you. But again, it's easier to kind of show in person, and we can kind of follow along as we do it. I think it's kind of all the big things I have. So appreciate everybody jumping on. I know we're kind of up to 4 at the moment. So hopefully if you came in late, once we close this out, you kind of go back and pick it up and work through it on your own. Okay. And then anytime, I try to keep videos posted up on here. I've got some more I need to go back and do. But several videos we did at the, when we were in the peak of COVID, when we weren't actually able to meet in person, those are still online. So anytime you're working out at home, it's like, man, it's just really hard to work out by myself. I wish there was somebody else here or whatever it is. Go grab those and, work through some of those. It's easier to work out if you're kind of following along with something. Totally get it. It helps. There's also kata videos on there, and there's also self-defense videos. So if you've learned the katas and you learned the self-defenses from us in class, those are great tools to refresh yourself on and kind of keep track if you're having problems remembering. So those are all tools and resources that we have available to you on our YouTube. And then also you can find them on our actual web page with the test sheets to kind of follow on that way. So again, I appreciate everybody jumping on and kind of bearing with us as we're having to be somewhat creative again with, this class and next class. And if you have any questions, make sure you text us, let us know. You're welcome to chime in on the chat box that's on here. It should still pop up even after we close it out and it's more of a recording, but be happy to help however we can. And hopefully we'll see everybody back on Thursday. So again, Thursday it'll be the same format, no in-person class. It'll be here live. All right. Thanks, everybody. You guys have a good night.